Hello and welcome. In a horrifying incident that has shaken Gurugram, a 3-year-old girl was allegedly raped, murdered and buried in a shallow pit after being taken nearly 4 kilometers away from her home while she was playing outside. Amada Pratap Singh, that's our big focus this hour. Police now have arrested a 24-year-old neighbor in connection with the crime, who later allegedly confessed to the crime. He reportedly led officers to the location where the body had been buried. Investigators say the accused, a native of Bihar's Supaul district, worked at a manufacturing firm in Gurugram and lived in the same building as the victim's family. He was known to the child and would often play with her. A case has now been registered under Section 103 of the Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita and Section 6 of the Protection of Children from Sexual Offences Act. The incident comes even as Haryana police recently claimed an overall decline in crime across the state. Despite official data indicating a decline in crime, the Gurugram case has sparked outrage and concern over child safety, especially in residential neighborhoods. The case is only the tip of the iceberg, as a large majority of child rape cases are not reported to the police, while children regularly become victims of other forms of sexual assault too. The big question also that arises is, why is there then a rise in minor rape cases? Dr. Jayanti Datta, clinical psychiatrist, is joining us live. Brinda Dige, social activist, is also live with us. Shamshavi Shrine, Supreme Court advocate, joins us live. Dr. PSV Rao, consultant surgeon, Manipal Hospital, Hebbal, also is with us on the broadcast. Let me make a start with you first, Shamshavi Shrine. Is it time then that such cases are fast-tracked? Is it time that such cases are made examples of? What is the law currently that this accused now who has been arrested will face prosecution under, and is there a need to further strengthen the law?
No. The law is already quite strong in this matter, wherein it is said that
Shamshavi Shrine, can you hear me?
Yes. So the law in this matter is that if you are under the age of 12 years, and the person is raped, so the sentence in the matter would be minimum 20 years, which could extend to life imprisonment. Life imprisonment means till the natural death of that person, and in different cases it can also be death. So the punishment is there. So how to curb such kind of matters is that there need to be one thing that I actually believe is that castration is something that should come. If there is a chemical castration or a castration of a different form, which would be a bit more stringent, that could be a way to mentally tell these psychopaths that you cannot touch a person, especially a child, a vulnerable person who would not be able to tell his or her grievance to anyone. So this is something where I think that it should change. The law should change here. But going back to the laws that are there right now, it is quite stringent. Yes, what should be done is that there should be a proper a court wherein the speedy trial should happen. Speedy trial is a major problem in such kind of matters, that not every court is dealing with the matters in a manner that it should be dealt speedily. It takes time, it takes years in many matters, that the matter keep on lingering around, and such kind of people with such kind of mindset, their mind actually becomes that, oh, nothing is going to happen and we are going to be out on bail in just 1 or 2 years and all. So things need to change in that manner. But if you ask that why such kind of reporting is happening more, I mean, why such kind of matters are actually coming more, the reason is that it's been happening from ages. Childs have been a victim of rape from ages, but the laws has changed. So now, as per the POCSO Act, the onus of reporting of the crime has fallen on everyone's shoulder. So in case a doctor who is checking on a child, and that doctor comes to know that the girl child or the boy child has been sexually harassed, or sexually touched them, so that case has to be reported by the doctor,
Yes,
or the parent or the maid. So that has changed, and because of that, a lot of cases has been actually coming up and the reporting has increased, but the
Right.
crime
Dr.
has
Jayanti
been
Datta, let me also
actually.
bring you in here, because the fact is, we must understand what kind of depraved mentality exists which would make someone rape and murder a 3-year-old girl.
See, we've been asking for fast track court ever since Nirbhaya Kand. It took us 8 years to bring them to the gallows, right? But nothing has changed, unfortunately. Everybody understands the vulnerability. We have had Pradyum murder case, we have had number of such cases, and the punishment, where is the punishment? I have not seen a visible penalty. You have to bring this onto the media. Every day we hear about the rape, we have heard about the brutalization of our children, but we have not, from the days on that beti bachao beti padhao, where is the beti bachao system? The betis are raped everywhere. They are murdered, they are brutalized. Imagine 24 years old boy, he rapes her and then kills her and then puts her in the kind of empty plot. And police, what it does, it goes, it finds out, and then they go to the court. There is no fear. Let me tell you one thing. My experience working with the criminals, I have seen, the criminals understand only one thing. I would seek capital punishment, because even if you do the castration, like my previous spokesperson said, that might put in more of a psychic kind of a thing in these kind of perpetrators, and they might indulge more in violence, because ab to mere saath to ho gaya jo hona hai. I don't want that kind of a thing. I would plead that you should have, in spite of POXO, we haven't come across any this kind of visibility of penalization of the perpetrator. You should bring it onto the media, and there should be a fast kind of a punishment. You should not, you see the murders are happening, rapes are happening, but the rapists are not punished. That is what has to be done. I would seek capital punishment plus the seizing of the property and the money, because I believe these kind of people, who have this kind of criminality in their psyche, the families come to know about it. They suspect these perpetrators because they always have one or two instances where they must have misbehaved. I think the family has to be involved. Now you see what is happening. They are snatching away the car key from the parents. I think it should have been done long back. If there is a rape, there is a murder of the child, I think the family ought to take on the the brunt. You should not only go for capital punishment, it should be fast track court, and maybe within a month's time you should bring out the punishment visibly. The visibility is a must if you want to stop this kind of perpetrator. Now all these years, unfortunately, in Delhi also, people are disappearing, children are being kidnapped. I remember from the Nithari days that we wanted the safety, we wanted the fast track court. Nothing has happened, nothing has changed. Rather, the kidnapping and the brutalization of our children is on the increase. So I think it's high time. Unfortunately, as long as we had a different party, ruling Delhi, we never heard of such kind of brutalization,
Okay.
not to this magnanimity. Now we have the center and the capital being ruled by the same party. Where is that punishment? Where is that safety for the women and the children? It's not there. It's very unfortunate. Only the media, kudos to media, congratulations and thanks to you. Only media brings it out, and then it dies out, We don't see any punishment. Nothing has changed. It has worsened ever after Nirbhaya Kand. I've been a front runner in the Nirbhaya case also. Nithari Kand also, we've been talking about it. Now this is on the increase. Now earlier, you could have couple of things, couple of cases. Now it is rampant. It is happening everywhere. 800 plus
Yes.
cases are reported
Yes.
where the children.
Binda DK,
missing.
that's the unfortunate aspect, that these sort of cases continue to rise. While yes, Haryana has seen a a decline in minor rape cases, still this is a very concerning development, and overall across the country we've been seeing incidents rising involving minors. What should be done to rectify this situation, and why do you believe this is happening suddenly?
Like the earlier panelists pointed out, this is not sudden. It has been happening, and for too long, we have not talked about it because the entire honor of the family was made to rest and the burden placed on the girls and the women. So, no talk about it anywhere. Incest has always been there. Neighbors, uncles, other people in the community doing these things has been there. But it has increased. And why has it increased? Because our films, our OTTs, and the social media have glamorized sexual assault, sexual violence. And this glamorization has continued, and censor boards have not done anything about it. So that's one part of it where this thing is getting normalized, where it is that, oh, these things can happen. You know, this happens everywhere. It happens in other countries. Stuck at the other side of the end of the spectrum is we will not talk about sexual assault, rape, and violence. This is not done in our world. We are all people who follow a certain Sanskriti. In that Sanskriti, nothing like this happens. If it does happen, then the child provoked, the woman provoked, she tempted, the child tempted. And here the 12-year-old child, in the previous case, a 9-month-old child, in another case, a 2-year-old child. What temptation and provocation that can be. So this language needs to be ripped off our vocabulary, temptation, provocation. Courts also use this. Third, it is time for politicians and the bureaucracy, the state, to take accountability of this. To say that we are a deeply patriarchal society, we don't give space to people to come out and report. And if they do report, it is by the end, the child is dead, the child is no longer there, all kinds of finality. Nothing can come out of it. We are talking about justice, and probably we may or may not get the procedural justice. But how do you prevent it? To start educating our children. Even today, parents don't want this education to be given in schools. Religious leaders are against education. Community leaders are against education. Politicians are against this education. If you and I don't give this education and awareness to our children to keep themselves safe, then we are just pushing them into this well called rape, sexual assault, and murder. So let us start talking about it. This education is a must, irrespective of my taboos or your taboos. The last part of it is the police, the prosecution, and the judiciary. Like the earlier panelists pointed out,
Okay.
we need these people to buck up. Fast track courts are there, but we don't have trained police, we don't have trained politicians, and we don't have trained judges. Judges who speak absolute nonsense when cases of this nature come before them. You heard what happened day before yesterday. The judge saying that a penis ejaculating on top of your vagina cannot be talked about as attempt to rape. What else is it? So you can't question the milords. We are following a colonial system where the judges were never questioned, never challenged. Today we have a large number of judges just come in without training, without writing their exam. Why is it that we are allowing this 79 years down the line? Should the mother of democracies, citizens over here, children over here, be forced with this kind of a patriarchal, structural, institutionalized violence and terror on children? That's the question we want to ask the state, the bureaucracy, and the judiciary.
All right. Let me, in fact, bring in Dr. P.S.V. Rao as well. Dr. P.S.V. Rao, because, in this case, it seems that, it was immediate, that the girl was raped, murdered, and then buried in a pit by this individual. What kind of mindset, psychology exists in such individuals? How do we identify this, if at all, and prevent such crimes rather than react later? And also, Dr. Rao, as far as, of course, safety of minors is concerned, have we done enough as a nation, or are we still lacking there?
We have definitely not done enough. Otherwise, this won't be a regular affair. Virtually every other day, some case being reported. Now, one the panelists before me have already mentioned various reasons why this is getting, the incidence is actually increasing, it is not decreasing. One, there is no fear of law. The reasons have already been enumerated by the others. I don't want to repeat it. Why there is no fear of law at all. The second problem is that the whole burden is on the victim and the victim's family. They are the ones which our society makes them feel very ashamed of the whole thing. It is not the person who is doing it who is ashamed. It is the victim's family which is feeling ashamed, which is, we need to turn this around. The media and all of the whole society should ensure that a family which realizes that one of them is going down the wrong path should feel it important to, right in the beginning itself, warn the psychiatrists and the authorities that please keep a watch on this person. Not that after all this is done, they say, sorry, we have not been talking to the person, we have cut off relationship with the person. This is how they wash off their hands. Instead of the family of the perpetrator feeling ashamed, it is the victim's family which is feeling ashamed. And in this case, the victim is not even there to suffer for the rest of her life. And he has buried the evidence and tried to escape. And where are these people learning? From all the medias that have already been listed. The OTTs, the movies, the social media. And I would also add, now it is artificial intelligence which is being used to create such pedophilic images. So we need to come down harshly on this. Otherwise, this is going to be a daily affair. And please remember, world over, India is being projected as a most dangerous place for women of all ages. And this is making things worse. So we need to encourage the society to, if they see someone going down the wrong way, to warn, to get them, drag them to the psychiatric, for psychiatric treatment or whatever else can help. And to prevent this, as we doctors always say, prevention is better than cure. And I think we need to work, all of us together, in ensuring that it is the perpetrator and his family which feels ashamed and not the people who are suffering.
Yes.
Because that is what is happening in society today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, let me take that back across to you as well, Dr. Jayanti Datta, on this particular case. Can we now make an example of it? There has been a lot of outrage over this case, given the young age of the minor that was raped, the manner in which she must have been murdered and left there buried in a pit. I mean, it doesn't get worse than this. How can we make an example of this particular case and this accused and the punishment
I think
meted
the good thing about it that the perpetrator has been caught very quickly.
Yes.
I want the justice to come down and give an exemplary punishment, bring it out in the media. You see, unfortunately, we have the laws, the legalities are there, but it seems they are more perpetrator friendly than the victim friendly. And one of my speakers in the before me, who's brought about the language the judges are using, unfortunate indeed it is. This is a country, the melody is we worship the girls, we do the Kanya Pujan and Navratro mein, we worship them as the power of goddess Shakti, and we are not doing anything for their safety. I don't think the victims need to be educated further. I think I visit a lot of public schools and institutions of repute. I think they are doing, the media is also bringing about certain awareness programs, but unfortunately the punishment is not there. And if the punishments are not there, I think somebody has to be booked even for not being able to render the justice properly. You have no right to be in the judiciary if you are not able to do the judgment and render the punishment. If you are not able to control these kind of heinous crimes, what for we claim that ours is a democratic country and children are safe here? There was a time when children used to be safely playing anywhere, everywhere. Today, our children are not safe even in their own family. Even in a primary setup, primary relationship, where you have the blood relationship, you are not safe in the hands of your own family. So either it's the paternal abuse, the parents, the mothers are also involved. I'm aware of certain families where the mother, did not want the girl to be taken care of. So she was thinking that I will give out my daughter for adoption, or I will send her somewhere. This is coming from the middle class family in a metropole. I'm talking from Delhi. And this is really unfortunate. So we have to do something. I would request the penalty, the punishment should be made visible on the media, and it should be rendered immediately. 24 years old, if you let go of him, and you say no, this man has to be sent for prison, 20 years or life imprisonment, the court takes longer, for rendering the justice. I think this is a proven case. The body has been found. The young child, the victim, was absolutely innocent. She couldn't have done anything to safeguard herself. She didn't go and sat on the lap of the rapist. I think it's high time we should give the same kind of brutalization. And I don't think anything less than the capital punishment would really render justice to this kind of perpetrators.
Okay, let me take that back to you as well, Brinda, because this rise obviously is something that needs to be rectified in crimes against minors. How do we do that as a system, as a nation? What should be the roadmap?
Our roadmap, like the earlier panelists pointed out, where is our documentation? We are supposed to be having a repository of those who have attempted abuse, violence, rape, crimes on children and women. And that must be up there for all the police in India to see. We don't have it. Where is it that somebody who has been registered with a case is immediately let out on bail? Should the judges not be careful, apply their mind and say, this person is a danger to the society, so we will keep this person, him, in jail for another 6 months to 8 months, rigorous whatever interventions are happening in the jail, and then we will revise, rework and revisit to see whether bail should be given or not. All the rapists are out in bail in 1 month, if not less than that. But what are judges doing? Bail is a right, yes, but these are criminals. They will get more and more victims. Recidivism in sexual crimes by these people is very high across the world. At least those studies should be told to the judges. We have to also tell the defense lawyers, you please defend the cases, but be careful. You cannot keep 24 hours track of this man you have taken away on bail. So I think there requires police, prosecution and judicial reforms immediately. Enough of this defense lawyer coming and talking all kinds of nonsense over there and taking bail and going for this. Secondly, fast track court means fast track court. We are sophisticated. We have trained police and prosecution. 3 months is the max. 90 days. There was a case that happened in Andhra Pradesh or Telangana, I can't remember. 30 days the judiciary came out with a progressive judgment. Now, they did not go to the moon to get that kind of training. They were all trained down here in our country. Why isn't that kind of training given? Why isn't that urgency taken up? Because then there will be a fear of law. Right now, like all our panelists pointed out, there is no fear of law. That fear of law, if it has to be instilled, the police, the prosecution and judiciary.
Only then will such cases end. We leave it at that. My thanks to our guests for joining us. We've run out of